probably overheard a little bit, but we're just talking to people about ticket purchasing behavior for any football games. Right now, are you living in the Chicago area?
Yeah, I live in Lincoln Park.
Okay.
Lakeview.
And how many of the home games this year and in previous years have you attended?
I go to every home game.
Are you a season ticket holder?
Yeah, I graduated '07. I've had season tickets since then.
Would you think that it's pretty common amongst young alumni to have season tickets?
Not as common as it should be.
Okay, and do you have any perspective on reasons for that?
I mean, general people just don't care. You know, a lot of undergrads don't care about football.
Okay.
Our group of friends, obviously, we get a fair amount of people out here every week. We try to convince people we know that normally don't come to games, but there's a lot of, at least when I was an undergrad, there's a lot of apathy.
Okay, so it's just continuation from when people were in undergrad, they weren't that much into it.
Yeah, if you're not into it in undergrad,
now.
people don't get into it later on.
Okay. Do you think that's just basically from team performance, or is it just convenience to the school?
I think it's a
combination.
combination. I think it's a combination of the performance and the opinion people have of the football team, which is pretty inaccurate at this point. They've been significantly better the last few years. But there's a lot of people who come to the school. I mean, there's a large international population that just don't care about football. And we have such a small alumni base. I mean, there's multiple schools in the Big Ten with more alumni in Chicago than Northwestern.
Okay, so you said there was a large amount of people, or not enough, or as it should be, amount of young alumni from Chicago that come up. What do you think the main reason is, apart from maybe football performance? Like, what is something that the school could actually do to change and encourage
the game day experience,
or tailgating?
I mean, honestly, the first thing is to get them to come as their undergrads, because if they get into it as undergrads, they're going to keep coming as alums. The ticket prices aren't too much. I mean, young alumni, and I'm a grad student also, are like $84 for season tickets, which is totally reasonable for 6 or 7 home games a year.
Yep.
So I think you got to hook people while they're here for undergrad.
Yeah, and I mean, besides just kind of,
Also, I mean, another thing, make tailgating more accessible for young alumni, because that would easily get more people to come to the stadium. We're lucky because a friend of ours, we get a pass from her dad, but otherwise, since they give out passes on priority points, we wouldn't be able to get a pass for another 6-7 years to tailgate in the lot. Everybody else has to go by SPAC, and it's a long walk. I mean, I would much prefer to be next to the stadium. So if it was easier for young alumni to be able to tailgate out here, I think you'd get a lot more people to come out.
And as far as like undergrads, whether it's apathy, that's fine, but in terms of things that, without having to change the whole culture, is there something about like the experience coming to the game that you could pinpoint to maybe make, I don't know.
A lot of people are too hungover on Saturday mornings.
Fair.
I'm a realist, and I remember from undergrad, it's a struggle to get up and
for an early
stadium
game.
When you're used to sleeping in the rest of the year on Saturday mornings.
11 a.m. start time.
The 11 a.m. start times are hard.
So if it was 2 o'clock, like 3 hours later.
2 o'clock, every night game we have, you get, students show up. You get all the casual fans, which is the difference between having a half-full stadium, half-full student section to having a full one, is getting the people who aren't hardcore fans to show up every week to actually come out to the stadium. The start time has something to do with that, but that's out of our control. That's a TV network determined.
Yep.
Okay, fair.
Thank you very much.